Living the higher life. Does everybody want to live the higher life?
Yes.
That's the key. If we want to, we can. If we don't want to, we don't have to. If we're happy where we're at, that's fine, because we're all in divine order. But when we find ourselves maybe not quite as happy as we'd like to be, or we're not being as fulfilled as we want to be, then that would inspire us to take a step, to allow ourselves to expand beyond our current level of consciousness. So living the higher life. I think living the higher life is living in the kingdom. Living in the kingdom of God, living in the consciousness of God. So to begin to live the higher life, we have to live with that consciousness of God. And I think all of the songs today were reflective of that, the consciousness of God wherever we're at. You know, in this very room, there's enough love for all of us. We have to be able to accept the love to feel the love. If we can't accept love, we won't feel love. See, it's up to us. But that love is a part of who we are. That's God consciousness. Love is God. God is love. This month we're talking about vibration, and it's been real powerful because we know energy, you know, and everything is energy, and everything's vibrated at a unique vibration and frequency, and it has its own qualities and characteristics. Like I like to just share with people my understanding of color. Every color has a sound, and every sound has a color. Oh, that's interesting. We may not be able to see the color, but it has a color. We got to put on our inner eyes, and we'll be able to see the color that a sound is making. And we can close our eyes and listen to music, and we can see colors. But see, we have to want to see and understand. And as we want to, that opens up our heart to allow that God consciousness within to begin to connect with the experience that we're having at any moment in time. Our body is an instrument. Our body's an instrument. This is what's really cool. Like I tell everybody, I'm a 49 Patrick. That's just my model this time around. So, but this vehicle is an instrument for experiencing energy. We can begin to experience the energy that we're giving out, and we can experience the energy that we're receiving. And that is determined by our consciousness, by our functioning level of awareness. I think I've read every Deepak book, and he has so many good little stories and anecdotes in each one of them, but they're all profound, and they really look at life on a lot of levels. And in one of the books, I don't know which one it was, but it talks about consciousness and the consciousness that a snail has. And so the consciousness, it's functioning at its level of awareness. It's a snail. We can accept that, can't we? Mm-hmm. So it's functioning at this level of awareness, and he's telling a story. So the snail's just crawling along, you know, and in front of it may be a acorn or an apple. Maybe aware of it, it's going towards it. We could reach down and pick that acorn or apple up, and it wouldn't even see us, because its consciousness isn't functioning at the level to see something else that's happening around it. We reach down, it just keeps going. I thought it's a profound story in that if we can look at ourselves and look at how we're functioning, and perhaps there are higher energies and higher levels of awareness that we live and move and have our being in. And I think that just by looking at living the higher life opens up the door to connect us with that higher consciousness, with God consciousness, so that we can begin to experience life at a higher level. It's nice to say it's all good, and it is all good on one level, but it could be better. It's individual. It doesn't matter the experience that we have. It's perfect for us. There's a lesson for us to learn. There's teaching in it, the experiences that we have. So just by accepting our experiences, we can begin to grow and learn from it. I think the first thing that we could do that would support us in living the higher life is to begin to embody a greater understanding of who we are and what we are. A greater understanding that we are spiritual beings. When we look at our life and our experience from the perspective that we are a spiritual being, and so is everyone else, a whole new world can open for us, a higher way of living. Because when we begin to look at ourselves in those eyes, I am a spiritual being, i.e., we're now connecting with God. See, God is spirit. Man is made in the image and likeness of God. We are spirit. So now we begin to see ourselves as spirit, acknowledge that I am a spiritual being. The next step is very important. The next step is respecting who we are. Respecting that we are a spirit, i.e., to begin to live from that perspective. Living the higher life isn't anything new. The consciousness of wanting to experience a higher life. But until we actually take the action step to put it into practice, we'll never understand it. Because we've all read 1,000 books. We've read about God and consciousness and experience and manifestation and oneness and unity and all this good stuff. But until we start putting it into practice, until we start living it, we can't understand it. Jesus said, if you want to know the truth, you've got to be the truth. That's what he was saying. You've got to have this experience. See, life experience is our teacher. So once we look at life from our spiritual perspective, we can get the higher classes. We have to pay attention in our life. Just like we were in grade school or middle school or high school, if we were sitting at our desk and looking out the window and daydreaming, we're going to miss the lesson. We're going to miss what we were supposed to learn there. And some people, hey, I've daydreamed through life and I've missed lessons, I'm sure. But I can just give thanks that I'm here today, right now, so I got to call it good. But you see, that's what's perfect about our individual experience in life. It's not good and it's not bad. It is for us. If we can get the lesson for us. When we get the lesson for us, we're living at that higher level. So it's not round and round and round and round and round we go. To begin to understand that we can continue to progress and expand and evolve. So we all know that the thoughts we send out bring back to us that like energy, that kind. That's an automatic law. It's an automatic law. We don't think about it. We just be. And then we ask, did I do that? And we could say, yes, I did that. Because I was daydreaming or I wasn't paying attention. So to begin to live with the higher awareness of who we are and to live the higher life, we have to pay attention. Pay attention, and that's not that hard. We get distracted by the little things. We have all this energy to use. We have this God energy pouring to us and through us, breathing in holy breath, expanding, allow it to go out into our world. And what are we using it for? See, we look at the keeping a roof over our head, being happy, being fulfilled, being powerful. We're experiencing life at a lower level. And you know what? Those are all transitory. To store our treasures in heaven, to store our treasures in God consciousness. That's eternal. And once we begin to look at that, it's not like we're not going to have a house or relationships and family and jobs and careers and stuff like that. No, but we're going to see them in a new light and a new perspective to understand what they are. They're vehicles for us to understand who we truly are. They're vehicles for us to understand that we're spiritual beings. And once we begin to understand that ourselves, then we can see one another as a spiritual being, and they can give me their unique love, their essence, a breathing ray, so I can get to know Robbie, the true Robbie. And that's what's important about living at that higher level, living a higher life, to begin to be honest with ourself. This is who I am. Give our true self to the world, okay? In all of our experiences, relationships, job, work, all that, give our true self to that. And that gives permission on an energetic level, the God within, to open up their heart. And I'm going to be authentic with you. I'm going to share my truth with you. That's the higher life. We always bat the word around illusion and Maya. It's exactly what it is, the illusion, because this isn't who I am. You see? This is my vehicle. So this is an illusion. But I'm grateful for this beautiful illusion. I love my body. Thank your body. It takes you to all the experiences that you can have in this lifetime to reveal your true identity. So you can live the high life. We all can live the high life. But to first be honest about who we are, what we're doing, pay attention. Pay attention. And then that moves us into a space of honoring life. Honoring life. If we don't honor our life, we're not going to honor any life. Truly. It'll be from an ego perspective or a personality or reason, but it won't be the truth, the love I am. And we can rationalize, and that creates some really good illusions. But what we want to do is to be honest with ourselves if we want to make any progress. Surrendering to the higher is not a new concept, but until it's lived, fate obscures our destiny. Wow, fate obscures our destiny. There's the title to a book. If any of y'all want to write one, I think it'll be a bestseller. Fate obscures our destiny. And what is fate? But the expectations of who we are and what we are put upon us by an outer entity or energy. You see? And when we listen to the outer words, even the outer counsel, we leave our life up to fate. Because our destiny is within our heart. The truth I am is within our heart. God within, the Father within who doeth the works. To begin to look at life like that. So an important thing that we can do is to really take to heart. If we truly want to live the higher life, we have to take our transformation to heart and to not play at it. To not play at it. To be all in at the level you want to be all in at. It moves us into the harmony of life. You know, we look at identity, defining ourselves to the outer. And all that does is define the experiences that we can have. That snail can only experience level at that life, at that level of consciousness. So as we begin to see ourselves in a higher understanding, that opens the door for us to understand life at a higher level. That opens the door to understand ourself at a higher level. We have to want to experience life at that higher level, and then we have to be ready to walk that path alone. It's not that we have to go by ourselves on a mountaintop and do that, but no, we have to listen within. We have to listen to our unique guidance that comes from our heart. And then we can share our truth and our authenticity with one another. And still have relationships with life and the world and whatever we want to experience. But to take your counsel from within. Take your counsel from within. The kingdom of heaven, the counsel of God lies within. So that's where listening to that voice will allow us and guide us along the path to our higher living. In chapter 29, in the Aquarian, Jesus is telling disciples about the kingdom. And it's real simple, but it's going along with this. And chapter 29, okay. Okay, here it is. So the people are gathered around him and they're asking about the kingdom. And Jesus says, they ask, where's the kingdom? And who's the king and who are the subjects? And Jesus said, this kingdom is not far away, but man with mortal eyes can see it not. It is within the heart. To begin to turn our vision inward. To begin to see the truth. Metaphysical. To see beyond the physical. To look to the essence, the cause of any experience that we're having. If we look with our physical eyes, we're going to see the surface. We're going to see the outer. Now when we turn our vision within and look with our spiritual eyes, we can see cause. We can see the truth, the reality of that. To go within. You need not seek the King in the earth, sea, sky. He's not there, and yet is everywhere. He is the Christ of God, is universal love. And that's what say, God is everywhere. In this very room. If we go through life asking to feel the presence of God, we will feel the presence of God. You see, we have to ask. Not think about it, but feel it. Have you ever walked into a room and felt the energy of the room? And sometimes it made you feel good, sometimes uncomfortable, sometimes it made you feel safe. You didn't see the energy with your eyes. You felt the energy with your heart. You saw beyond. Everything looks perfect and good here, but it just doesn't feel right. So you're going beyond, within, to what created that, to the truth of the matter, the truth of the situation. This is how we can begin to live the higher life, because that will take us out of our illusion. I should feel good there, shouldn't I? I should be having a good time, but I'm not. That's information. Something's not feeding your soul. Something's not supporting you in experiencing a higher aspect of life. Jesus knew that awareness is the source of all that is and will ever be. That's why his teaching was, seek ye first the kingdom. Seek ye first the counsel of God. The counsel of God lies within our Father who is in heaven. To begin to allow that guidance to lift us, to free us from the limitations that the outer places upon us. Because we're unlimited beings, aren't we? Yes, we're unlimited beings. We'll cut that part out. Okay, so as we want to, okay, this is what we are. So we have to want to make this spiritual journey, this path that we're on, a daily event. To live with this consciousness, this desire, daily. To begin to ask to feel daily, ask to see daily. Each day is an opportunity for us to grow and change. See? Some people believe that, some people don't. However, if we're going to get on the spiritual path, we should know that every day is an opportunity for us to grow and change. To be born anew every day is to embrace each day from a new perspective. Ask for a new vision of self. Sometimes, if the world isn't reflecting that which we would hold about ourselves, ask within, God, help me to see and understand the truth I am. You see? Ask within. Don't ask the outer. Ask within. And allow that door to open to allow your own unique God within to begin to express. So you begin to know. You begin to know who you are. And then as you know, you can begin to express. And this is what allows for the new sense of self. When we have that new sense of self, that's when each day is new. If we don't wake up with a new sense of self, the day is probably going to be the same way it was yesterday and the way we think it's going to be today. We haven't opened up the door to the newness of God in our life. When we seek that new sense of self and take the steps to follow it, discipline, I'm going to support myself in living this higher life experience, because it takes discipline. And discipline, all that is supporting self. We're supporting ourselves to accomplish something. If we want to get physically fit, we discipline ourselves to exercise, or our diet, we got to discipline ourselves into that. No, I don't need that. And it's the same thing with our spiritual growth. We have to discipline ourselves and do that which would support us. I get up at 6 o'clock and go downstairs and meditate every morning because that feeds my soul. And all of us have things that feed our soul. We're all different. It doesn't have to look alike. But find out what feeds the soul. Some people might paint. Feeds their soul. It gives their soul an opportunity to be acknowledged, accepted, and respected. Expression. It's important because that's what lasts. That's the truth who we are. When we look at our day, to look at it with the eyes of spirit and ask to see the truth. Ask to see the truth of that person that stands before you. Ask to see the truth of the situation that you're moving through. If it's supposed to be a lesson, ask for understanding. What am I supposed to see here? What am I supposed to do here? With God's counsel. And that will allow us to lift, that will allow us to transcend, see, the limitations of our human identity. Beginning to feel the world instead of understanding the world. To feel the world instead of understanding the world. When you go out in the woods, don't you feel the energy of the woods? Or a mountaintop? Or go to the seashore? You feel that. You don't have to think about it. You feel it. You're connecting with the God within all creation. That's a natural elevation. Say, it's a natural high. Yay, God! Where thinking fails, consciousness is free to go. Where thinking fails, consciousness is free to go. Because our consciousness is truly connected with that God source within. And a lot of time our thinking is tied to the past and reason and rationality. Our subconscious experience of who we are. So we give ourselves permission to let go of limitations. Take a chance. Take a chance on God. Take a chance on Spirit. So with vibration, so we can do things, when we do things that feed our soul, that make us happy, that create joy in our life, we raise our vibration. We're talking about vibration this month and understanding that. So we have to hold a higher vibration to experience a higher life. It's a law. It's a law. So then to discipline, take the steps that support that which feeds my light, which feeds my soul. Support that. And then walk open and understanding that Cindy's the radiant spiritual being walking. And so that as I see that myself, and then we get to know each other better and better and better. And love keeps unfolding and unfolding. And life is beautiful. person that we seek to meet is seeking us. And once we begin to just open up that door and take a step, your world can change. Let's go within. So as you close your eyes once again, let's just see a door shutting to our human consciousness and all the experiences we've had as a human. And just breathe once again and follow that holy breath right into your heart. And as you breathe in holy breath, the love of God, just feel your heart. Feel the presence of love in the center of your chest. Just breathe and feel your unique love begin to grow and expand. And as you breathe in God's love and create this beautiful garden, a beautiful garden of peace and harmony and love and growth, just feel the energy of this beautiful garden. Ask to know this energy. Ask to know your soul. Ask to know your authentic truth as expression of God on planet Earth at this moment in time. Ask to feel your soul. And just allow that essence of love to just sweep through you now. As you give your soul permission to get bigger. Invite your soul into your life experience this time, this round. Ask that you begin to live a higher life. And just breathe and feel your heart center. And feel the aliveness that resides within your heart. And feel the love that resides within your heart. And feel the peace that resides within your heart. A peace that passeth understanding, allowing for transcending. So just breathe and feel your heart. Breathe and feel your soul. Be still and know. This is who you are. This is who I am. Breathe and feel. Just allow your joy to begin to flow through your body. And you feel it moving up into your face and feel your lips begin to make that beautiful smile and your cheeks stretch. And just breathe and just be joy. Be joy in this room, in this very moment. And just gently open your eyes. Everybody smiling?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, everyone's smiling. I love it. So, to live a higher life, the journey is the answer. To know oneself is the journey of life. The path begins in the heart. And the journey never ends. Yay, God.